everyone, nice to meet you all. My name is Dhyva Aulia Hendri. You can call me Dhyva. And in this video, I would like to tell you what is my dream job in the future. So maybe you have heard about this. This job is called UI and UX designer. UI means user interface and UX means user experience. So I will tell you what UI UX designer responsibility. First, they will conducting user research to make sure and to know what is user needs, what is user behavior, and what is user problems that they have already experienced. And the research is gonna be like they gonna do some interview to the user, to the potential user in an online interview or offline interview. And second, their responsibilities is they will make wireframe, prototype, and mockups. So I will explain to you these three things. So wireframe is like you make an interface design but in a sketch. So you sketch it in a paper with pencil. But I think these days people prefer to make wireframe in a tab with a stylus pen. And wireframe is called low fidelity design. Second is prototype. Prototype is an interface design that already have colors, have typography, and already have design system or maybe some illustration. So, and prototype is called high fidelity design. And lastly is mockups. Mockups is like what is your design will look like if it applied in a phone, or what is your design will look like if it applied in a laptop or others. And three, the UI UX designer responsibilities is they will make a design that is user friendly but also visually appealing. So the design is accessible for the user but also looks good. And fourth, the responsibilities of UI UX designer is they will collaborate with developers to implement the design to the code. So the step is gonna be like UI UX designer, and the design will be passed to front end engineers, and they will do some code with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And it's gonna pass to back end developer where they will add some data or like the things. And lastly, it's gonna be passed to mobile developer if the UI UX designer make an interface design for an app. And lastly, it's gonna be passed to QA like quality tester or quality assurance to make sure that the apps, the design, and the code, the program is work or not. And now I will tell you what skills that you need to apply for this job. First, the tools. That is the important thing. You need to know how to use the tools to make the UI UX design. And the tools is like Figma and Sketch and Adobe XD. But I think mostly people will use Figma. And second, the skills is like problem solving and critical thinking. Why you need problem solving to make UI UX design? So you need to solve a problem that user already complain. For example, maybe like the uh, for example, maybe Spotify. So the interface of Spotify is actually good, but there is a user that found out some difficulty when using that apps, and they prefer to make it simple. Like, can you make it simple, but but the app can work well too. So UI UX designer need to find the problem. What is the problem? uh, like maybe the font is too big, or the buttons the button is too big, like can you make it smaller, and others. And the third skills that UI UX designer need is communication. Why communication is needed? Because UI UX designer need to talk up and need to present their design to the other team, because they UI UX designer work in a team, and the team mate is like front end developer. So UI UX designer need to have a good communication skill to represent their design. And the other skills that UI UX designer need is knowledge of design principle, because UI UX design need to look balanced, and it needs to look more simple but also accessible, so people can use the design, will can use the apps, but also it can fully work, like there is no problem in the design in that apps. And lastly, and most importantly, what is skills that UI UX designer need is design sense. That is, so how to get this design sense, you need to do a little bit more explorating, maybe open Behance and Dribble or Pinterest to see other UI UX design, and you can get more inspiration to do the design, like what the update, like what is the good things, what the colors that look more appealing, or others. And you need to practice more to get this design sense. And no, I'm sorry. I will tell you why a fine UI UX designer is fascinating. The reason is because UI UX designer combine two things, which is design and technology, to solve a real world problems. So we use an app, which is we use it daily, and we need to know what is the problem is. And the other reason why I find UI UX design is fascinating and also looks interesting to me, because this this job actually, this the UI UX demand is always continues to grow, and it will providing to an excellent career opportunity. So as long as you still use an apps, the IT industry will need UI UX designers too, to make a good interface. And lastly, their contribution. What is UI UX designer contribution? Like I said to you before, they make an interface design that is visually appealing but also more accessible and user friendly. I will tell you the example. So a UX designer will make a design for mobile apps. So if the design is good and can work too, then it will lead and it will attract the people to download the apps more, and people will curious what is these apps about, and people will download the apps more. So that is the contribution, and I think UI/UX designer is an important part and a vital part in the IT industry, because to make an application, to make a website, you need a design first. You I think that is a reason why it's important. So to make an application and website or others, you need a design, and UI/UX designers is a good position for that. But I'm not gonna doubt that maybe in the future I discovered some things, some other role in the IT industry, like data scientist, AI engineer, or back-end developer if I want to learn that too. Yeah, let's see in the future what's gonna be happen. But today, just hope that I can make my own website portfolio, because I really want to show off my projects to the client, and I hope I also get an opportunity to do an internship or get a freelance job or winning a competition in UI/UX design. I think that's all that I will need to talk about. But and I'm so sorry if there is any mistakes when I'm speaking. That's all. Don't forget to take care of your health, and bye bye. Assalamualaikum.